too happy with what they were saying to some of my friends. I'm a photojournalist, I'm a video journalist, so I take a lot of pictures up at different protests. And then this person, he said to me, after we had a bit of a spat, called each other vulgar things, but nothing racist. Like, we didn't mention colour, we didn't mention creed, we didn't mention anything about who we were, what we were. And then he said to me, "You're not English." I said, "Okay, I don't look English, alright, fine." He said, "You're not English." And I said, "Alright, I'm not English." And then I said, "I'm British." And then he said, "No, you're not British, look at the colour of you." And then at that moment I was like, whoa, what the hell? Like, this is the first time in my life I'm experiencing racism.
All of your 24 years, you've never, wow.
Like, indirect racism I have felt, but I kind of find that a bit normal, because you're living here in the UK, some people are a bit like that, but it's not to your face. Like, like, you're not British because of the colour of your skin. That was the first time in my life I ever
So how did it make you feel?
That. I don't know, it felt so weird. It felt so alien, because I was so privileged in my life to grow up in East London, where it's a very mixed community. Because I grew up with loads of black friends, loads of white friends, a lot of Eastern European friends, a lot of Asians, a little mix of everyone. So like, I never experienced that kind of racism in my life. Like,
sorry. All I can say is sorry. Because we've got through it. But I'll just say sorry that you had to have it in your face in 2024.
I can relate to that.
Yeah?
I didn't really...
I mean, it's nothing compared to you guys.
No.
I didn't understand racism when I was about your age as well. And when I mean understand it, obviously you see it on TV and you see it and you see it, but you don't actually understand it or know what is racism. And I think now, I'm 44 now, but now that I think back, we suffered from unconscious biasness, I would say. So certain people will be invited into the in crowd, or certain people get that promotion, that manager's role, that supervisor's role, but we would be said, "Oh, you're a good worker, you know, like you're doing well. You get a pat on the back,
but you're not as good to get there.
But you're not moving forward. You're not progressing." And I didn't realise the difference between unconscious bias and racism until I travelled to Australia.
Tell us about that. He travelled to Australia on his own.
All right.
So I went on a working holiday visa, used my British passport. Thank you, Mr. Government, for that. You work and travel basically. And when I went there, I met a lot of natives from different areas, the Aborigines, people from the Solomon Islands. I lived with them, I stayed with them for a few weeks.
So you was really living traditional?
Yeah. As well as in the hostels and stuff. I was just venturing. And the thing is, out there the weather's so nice. The weather's so nice. So it's not like here, hey, where it gets dark and cold, you're looking for shelter. It's like, it's hot all day, all night. So I lived with islanders, and I started to learn about the real racism, and I looked how like Australians treated the Aborigines.
Even when you was out there.
And what they did back in the day still affects them to this day, and we're talking hundreds of years, and it still affects them. And they controlled the Aborigines through drugs and alcohol. And hundreds of years ago, and back in the day. Now, Aborigines are mostly homeless and drunk and on drugs.
The thing is, you don't see that. Like, I mean, like everyone who watches TV, I've never seen them in that way. And it's good that you went.
We're talking about our grandparents passing knowledge on to us. This is what they've been passed on to their great-grandparents, them parents, drugs, alcohol, slavery, that sort of apartheid sort of thing. And you only know about it when you get there, and you think, rah, this is real racism. But you know what? I'm not suffered this back at home, but it's not perfect. But you know what? I wouldn't want to be there. And when I was there, personally, people treated me fine. I got a lot of attention from the women. That was nice.
Because you got a wife.
I got a lot of attention from the women, and when I was.
Weren't you scared though, cuz? I'd be scared to go Australia.
I needed to get out. I needed to get out.
So you just said, you know what?
I needed to go.
Going.
What about the spiders?
Isn't it the big... You're not scared of creatures and things like that.
You know, the thing is, when I was scared when I was younger, my dad would just give me a slap round the back of the neck and say, man up, sort of thing. And we can't say this word, we can't say this expression, man up now. But my mum would say, oh, it's okay, I said, be careful, be careful. So I was cautious, but like obviously. But
you wanted to get out and you said to yourself, go Australia.
Yeah, I needed to.
You wanted to go to the other side of the world, you know?
Well, me and my friend were talking. So my friend wanted to go to America for money and opportunity and make it big. And I wasn't serious about money. I just wanted to play and girls. And like, that was my lifestyle back in the UK. I would work 48 hours, finish work, rush home, freshen up. And drugs and alcohol and party. Yeah. And then before I know it, it's Monday again and I haven't recovered. You know what I mean? And those drugs was just like a little escape. So I was like, I needed to go to Australia and just get away from the norm, the work and the stresses, I'd say. And well, when I say about drugs, I think drugs give you that mental escape from the stresses of life. So you got to understand why people do it. So people are working, and then they're not seeing much money coming in. Yeah. And then it's just continuous. And where is that escape? Like, you're looking for a party time, but partying costs money. Clothes cost money. You know what I mean? Feel good. Cosmetics, moisturising, all costs money. Like, I spend about £100 a week on cosmetics and stuff. It's expensive. Yeah. So. Yeah, I needed to escape and out there.
Did you look at something and say, you know, that's where I'm going? Did you look at other countries, or you just said?
I looked at it strategically. So I thought, where could I go abroad and work, and everyone speaks English, and like my passport qualified me to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I wasn't there illegally. So America. You could get a working holiday visa in America, but I think the rules were slightly stricter. And my friend who decided to go to the US instead of Australia, he was homeless and he was working cash in hand. But now he's living the American dream. He lives big out there. Wow. So I kind of, Noah. Big up Noah.
Yeah, big you up Noah, wherever you may be.
Yeah, he used to train back in Metroflex in Sydenham, bodybuilder, and now
so he was homeless out there?
Yeah. I'm not sure his whole story, but like he used to tell me he used to stay in people's rooms and stay in people's living rooms.
And you went alone? Oh my God.
Yeah, he went alone. So I knew if I go to the US, I didn't want to live like that. No. So when I went to Australia, I could work. I could work legally and I could get money and I was okay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I didn't take that risk. And sometimes I think, I should have gone to America with him. I would have been.
But maybe that was your path, you know.
I just wanted to play. I just was thinking of girls.
Oh my God!
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about the money. But
let's be thinking he was logical here. No.
Yeah, but you understand racism when you get out the UK. When you come anywhere outside the UK, you understand racism.
I understood it when I went to Spain.
Well, there you go.
And I was going to Spain a lot of times, and I thought, wow, really? So I've stopped going. Yeah, they were really blatant in your face. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I mean, back here.
One guy would say to me, Australian would say to me, he said, like, I would go for work and he'll say, all right, look, I've got to offer it to my people first. And the way he says my people, and then if there's anything left, I'll give it to you. Yeah, but
like that.
Yeah, but I didn't take it as an offence, and I was like, you know what? The guy's actually said it to my face, man to man, and I'm going from my dad, my upbringings, and in this country, people won't say it to your face.
Walk around it.
Yeah. They'll be racist to you, but they'll say, oh, I'm not racist to you, but they wouldn't say it to your face. Yeah, they wouldn't say it to your face, and that's the difference between. But at least in Australia, I knew where I stood. I thought, right, I could get work here. I can't get work there. I knew where I stood. But in this country, you're giving out your CV, you're doing handshakes, you're trying to get a contract, and people are looking at your skin, and you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. And then years later, you say, why this, why that? And that's the difference.
Was it a good learning curve for you going there?
Very good learning. Very good learning.
What did you take else from there? Apart from the racism that you saw facing, what else did you take?
I learned a little bit about everything, about cultures. You can't look at someone and dislike them, because that's just crazy. That's just insane. You gotta just sit down and chat to someone, no matter what they look like, where they're from, this and that. I was talking to people from Solomon Island, and I was saying, we was laughing and joking. I said, you're Indian, you're Cooley, you're not African. And he used to say to me, no, I'm African. I said, you're not African. And then he would tell me his story, and he could name his grandparents, his great-grandparents, his great-great-grandparents. He told me the story how people from East Africa fled slavery and ended up in Indonesia and Southeast Asia and Solomon Islands and integrated with them. And I was like, right, I can't even name my great-grandparents. All I know is my granddad who died, but I can't trace trace my history back from there. And I was just like, this guy knows more about Black history than I do. You know what I mean? And I'm from a westernized society, and he's growing up in Solomon Islands like that. And I'm just like, what have I been learning all these years in school?
That's what we learned at all.
What I've been taught? I've been taught nothing. So that was a learning curve. I'm glad I did it for that.
How long did you stay out there for?
A year. Yeah. I had to do it.
You really needed that year.
Yeah, because I was, like I said, I discovered myself. I discovered people say, why do you think the way you do? Why are you the way you are? And this and that. And I discovered something when I was in my early 20s. And I was smoking weed stuff with my friends, with my girlfriend at the time. And my friend, 3 of us. And we were literally sitting in my studio place where I was rented and passing the Dutch, as you say.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I don't know what was in this drug, and I got these drugs, these weed from work, where I was working in the prison service. I was a prison escort officer at the time, so taking people to and from court. Nothing to do with the HMP, but taking people to and from Crown Madge. So I would body search these guys coming in, and I would find all sorts of drugs in them. And I would say, look, what do you want to do with this? And they said, look, they'll be scared and nervous, expected to be remanded or expecting a heavy sentence. I should just throw it in the bin. So I would say, I wouldn't touch the drugs. I'll say, look, if you want to put it in the bin, you put it in the bin. And I search them again, boom. Then their case is closed, take them downstairs. End of the day, people have left the building. I'll go back to that bin, pick up the drugs and take it home.
You didn't know what was in it.
Yeah. Then I'll split it up, cut it out, invite my friends over, and we would just take whatever's there. And I wasn't hooked on drugs, but it was that mental release. Like, I've just on the 48 hours, I want to go out and party. My friends have had a 2-hour head start on me on drinking. I need to catch up. And it was that stress, that release. So, so when one time I was smoking, and all of us were hallucinating, and we were talking about sex and this and that, and living out talking about your fantasies, and I said something. I was like, I've done that when I was 5 years old, and everything stopped. I didn't realise what I said. I was like, what? That's impossible. And I was like, oh shit! And it was a memory. It was a memory. It was a memory which happened to me as a child, which I totally forgot about.
And it came.
Yeah, and a reason why I forgot about it, because it was something which happened with a female. So if a guy and a female, it kind of feels normal and exciting at the time. I think if I said I was abused by a man, I wouldn't be comfortable sitting here now. So, you know, I heard a story on the news the other day about a teacher using a kid,
pupils or something like
pupils.
that.
No, I don't know that kid and I don't know that situation, but that must have been exciting for the kid, you know what I mean, that 16-year-old having a walk. So these memories I've totally forgot about, and I found out something about myself, and I was like, you know what, I need to know the way I am. And and that was one of the reasons why I went travelling.
Clean over there for the year. I
needed to know why I do what I do, why I think the way I think, and once you understand that process, like women, I only go with big bum, women with a big bum, big bottom. See these skinny girls, these model girls. I'm not interested.
You should your twin.
I'm not interested. And my friends used to go.
But the thing is, your mum's slim. She's not like that. So I would have followed. And I did test my mum the way she looks. I'm like, Mum, why can't you put some meat on you like something? And my friends used to look at me funny, thinking, you're away. How you go for this big woman? And I'm like,
that's just me, and I couldn't understand it. And these guys would go for these skinny little pretty model chicks, and like, and the car and this and that, and I'm just like, no, I don't feel right. Like, yeah. So it didn't affect me like, oh, why this, why that, but I was like.
5 minutes break.
5 minutes break. 5 minutes break.
5 minutes break because we're having a little bit of excuse. Have a straight.